Hi everyone and welcome back to a brand new studio vlog. I am back in the studio after Stationery Fest, if you saw that vlog last week, and I'm really stressed, but also excited, but stressed, because in a week I have a 4-day pop-up at Dobbies, which is a garden centre chain in the UK. I've never done anything like this before and it's nerve-wracking, and the turnaround time between Stationery Fest and this is so small. Basically Monday this week was spent finishing off a Stationery Fest vlog, unpacking, and I was on the go slow because I was really exhausted. Tuesday is my day with my little girl and it is now Wednesday afternoon. I had some other work bits to sort this morning and now the pop-up starts a week tomorrow. So I am stressed is an understatement. But in this vlog, I am going to bring you all along the preparation. We are going to be doing lots of planning. Let me just sort the light out behind me. I'm going to be bringing you along for the prep. We are going to be designing promotional materials to take with me. We're going to be getting products ready. We're going to be looking what we need to reorder after Stationery Fest, anything we're low on. So I've done a bit of that this morning. We're really low on anxiety toolkits. So I've just ordered a bunch of those and I need to go and have a look what we need ordering on a very quick turnaround again, because yeah, it's just really not long. I have some restocks to do for shops that I'm stocked in, as well as some new orders and wholesale orders that have been stacking up because of Stationery Fest, and so I need to look what's on those as well and just make sure we have enough stock to cover everything. But I have had a restock of pins come in, which is fab. I've been waiting for that for, I don't know, about 5 weeks now, and some of my pins have gone out of stock. So I'll be able to put them back in stock and take them to Dobbies. But something that I'm not really sure about is estimating how much stock to get ready for the pop-up. It's going to be on a Thursday to Sunday. So obviously I'm anticipating the weekend is going to be the busier 2 days. The pop-up, if you are interested, is through Pop-Up Indie. They used to be called the Great British Brand Exchange, and you can apply to do pop-ups in Dobbies, John Lewis. I've seen them do some in Primark. And for me, I felt like being in a garden centre would really fit my vibe well in terms of the really giftable items, and particularly the wildflower collection, a lot of the floral items. I feel like it would be placed really well. So this is a good experiment for that. There is an application process that you have to go through where you fill in a bunch of forms with information about your shop and what you sell, why you think you would be a good fit, and then they look for products in different categories. Round 1 is like they get back in touch to say, yes, we approve you to do a pop-up, and then you have to book your pop-up with them. So firm up the date, the location, how long it's going to be for. Some are 4 days, some are 7 days. I am doing a 4-day one because I think the weekdays will be quieter anyway, and you have to man it in the store. It is a store that's an hour away from me. It isn't my local one. This was the most local one to me that was running the pop-ups. And obviously I've got my little girl, and being away for a week, that's just a lot. So as well as just on me health-wise and giving up that time to be in the store. So I felt a 4-day pop-up would be a good option to choose. And so I applied for Dobbies in Atherstone in Warwickshire for the 7th to the 11th of August. Figured it's in the summer holidays, maybe more people will be out and about, and I was accepted, so that's really fab. If you're interested in these pop-ups and the opportunities that there are, I will leave a link to who it's through in the description below. And now in terms of what I've got to get ready, at this store they provide you with a single table, no tablecloths or anything, and any other furniture you need to bring. So I need to start mocking that up in terms of what I think I'm going to take. I've had to provide a list of every single product that I'm going to be selling, and they're going to load it onto like a till system and a card reader for me. So I've done that, and basically what I've chosen to take with me is all my notepads and journals, some of my coasters and mugs, all of my pins, pocket hearts, the anxiety toolkit, a selection of tote bags, and a selection of greetings cards. I think that's everything. So I'm not taking stickers, washi, journaling kits, things that are a little bit more niche, but I did add on at the last minute sticker sheets because I figured they don't take up much room to display those and they are a low cost item that people might go for. So that's what I'm doing. So top of the list today is I'm gonna check what items I have in stock after stationery first, make a list of what needs to be made up, and look at what materials I need for that I might be running low on. And I also need to think about packaging and stuff like that. So for example, I took like paper carrier bags to stationery first and they've nearly all gone. So in terms of packaging up people's items, I need to get more of those. I know I need to get more tote bag transfers, and I really need to look at doing a pop-up banner. The kind of roll-up banners, I'm going to put a picture here of a blank one. I really want one of those that explains very clearly what my business is, what the background is, what we sell, to have as a backdrop there. I don't have anything like that. I've never had anything made before, and I'm not sure what the turnaround time is. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a hunt round of stock levels, and then I'm gonna sit down and design that banner. So let me stop waffling, let's go. So now that I've done some stock counting and sorting out, I really want to make a start on this banner because I feel like getting this opportunity at Dobbies is a really big deal. I feel like part of making a good impression is the setup and appearing professional and having your brand story out there a bit more. And so like I said earlier, one of the first things on my list is to create a pop-up banner to house all of that, to bring the colour, to showcase my brand, to tell a bit of my story, and to have that visual stamp in Dobbies like, boom, Sunshine Lane is here for the next 4 days. And hopefully it'll really catch people's eyes. So for a project like this, I knew straight away that I wanted to use Kittle, and they are kindly sponsoring this next segment of the video. So thank you so much to Kittle. We're going to use Kittle to create the banner. It's going to be the perfect tool to use for a design project like this. So let's head over to my computer and get going. I'm nervous because I've never made anything like this before, but I'm really excited. So this is the process that I went through, and I started by browsing Kittle's template library to get some inspiration for the layout of my banner. They had loads of different ideas and different layouts, configurations, and I just added a few to my canvas just so I had something for inspo. It's almost like having a mood board on the side, as well as having elements that I could maybe pull from and pull onto my artboard if I wanted to. But you could literally keep it as simple as using one of these templates and dropping your elements in there instead of having to create everything from scratch. A huge time saver is always using my Kittle brand kit. So I have uploaded my new colours on here, my fonts that I use, my logos in the different sizes and configurations, and it means that I can quickly drop in those elements or tailor text to my fonts, tailor shapes to my colours and things like that without having to go and look up colour codes. It just makes it so quick and easy, and it's like having shortcuts that customize everything to your brand, and it meant that everything was on brand right from the beginning, which is exciting because then you can really see it coming together. To create the space for my brand story, I looked in the elements library and found a shape that I wanted with a kind of wavy edge to it, and I've been using shapes like that a bit more in my design. And then I could easily add a border to it, which that little tweak just really made the text pop, but it also separated the different colours, and because it's something I do on my outlines of my illustrations, it meant that it again just felt a little bit more Sunshine Lane. Next, I wanted to include a photo of little old me, but I didn't want it to just be square and boring. I didn't want everything to just be a series of squares. So I found a circular shape, and then I think this is a really cool feature for a tool like this, is that you can put your photo on top and then you can mask the photo to that shape, whatever shape you've selected. It's so more interesting being able to crop it to different shapes that easily, and I like how simple everything like that is in Kittle without you having to know complicated photo editing or graphics software. I also wanted to upload some of my own unique illustrations so that people were getting a taste of that too, and it obviously brings some of my brand in. So I uploaded my illustrated elements like flowers and hearts, and the best part for me is that Kittle has this amazing vectorization functionality. I could take my illustrations and convert them into vector images, meaning that even when this banner is printed out at a huge size, there will be absolutely zero pixelation in my images. Everything will be crisp and clear, and being able to do that in a couple of clicks without having to recreate that illustration from scratch is such a time saver. And it then means that I can use it on projects big and small without the image being affected, which is just so cool, honestly. Finally, I added the hero image of my You Are So Loved enamel pin at the bottom, and of course the website address at the bottom to complete the design so people know where to find me. And there you have it. This is how it turned out. A beautiful professional pop-up banner designed entirely in Kittle. Kittle's so much more than just a design tool. It's an entire creative workspace that lets me achieve results like this in a fraction of the time it would take me using other more complicated tools. So if you're ready to streamline your creative process and access some seriously cool functions without it being too complicated to figure out how you even use them, and give Kittle a try, you can sign up for a free account right now using the link in my description below. If you want to unlock all of the premium features, then I have a special code you can use. Just use the code SunshineLaneYT for 25% off your first month or first year on any paid plans. And a massive thank you to Kittle for sponsoring this segment of the video. Now that I have this, let's go and order the banner. Morning everyone. It is now Friday, and something I didn't mention on Wednesday was that when I got back from Stationery Fest, I found that the lights in my cabin aren't working. Now I'm going to put a light on, but I'm having to use my ring light because I don't have any other lamps in here at the minute, and the main studio lights aren't working. But I wanted to show you what I'm working with. It's even darker in the order packing area. Let me take you over. It's like trying to find stock in a cave. It's ridiculous. I've put my ring light on now and adjusted the camera settings so that you can actually see me, but I think you can tell from the dark behind me, like it is really dark in here. It's quite shocking really, because all along two walls of this cabin is open windows, but if it's a little bit overcast outside, it just gets really dark. So we need to sort that out. We've had bad luck with electricians at this house. Thankfully, the rest of the power in here is working, and it's just the lights. These lights are hooked up to the lights that are also in our garden that were here when we moved in. I think something's going on with them and it's tripping the lights. It was tripping the whole place, but we've isolated just the lights, and luckily I can get everything else to work in here. But what it has meant is, which is probably a good thing, that if I need to do anything, I really need to get it done in the day in here. I can't be coming out here and doing my late night product making sessions. But that does make me a little bit nervous ahead of the Dobbies pop-up, because yeah, I'm having to get things done in the day while I can see. So I was packing orders out here yesterday tea time a little bit, and then I stopped because it was dark and my little girl came home. I've got a few more orders left to do, which if you can see, I'm going to bring you along for packing. It's just a couple of sticker orders, and then I'll be all caught up from orders that have come in since like pre-Stationery Fest, like just as we were leaving. So I'm going to do those. Then my plan was to walk to the post box with Maggie, but it's just started raining, so that's a bit annoying. And then I think I'm going to launch my journaling kits today. So I took new stickers, a sticker sheet, 2 new notepads and a new journaling kit to Stationery Fest. You'll have seen if you've seen my previous vlogs. And I hadn't said when I was doing the online launch, and part of me is thinking, do it today. And then I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. But what I would like to do is launch the journaling kit, especially because I'm only working till like 2:45 and then I've got to get my little girl from nursery. But what I would like to do is release the journaling kits and let people start getting those, because the live journal with me will be on the 24th of August, and I like to leave a few weeks to be able to send a few reminders out that it's happening and for people to be able to buy those ahead of the live one. And we sold quite a few at the event itself, so I'm going to get that ready. Yesterday was a lot of boring stuff getting ready for Dobbies that I didn't film. So working out what stock I want to take, working out what stock I therefore need to order to make that happen, and what I need to make that happen, and just starting to print stuff and get it ready to heat press. So there was a lot of spending, which I was like, the money's just come in from Stationery Fest and it's literally gone straight back out the door. But isn't that the way? I needed to order notepads, I needed to order some tote bags, some tote bag transfers. I might have a sneaky limited run product come in, very limited numbers. So when the blanks arrive for that, I will show you. And then I needed to order a load of printed stuff. I'm gonna try for the first time displaying my tote bags with belly bands around them, folded up. So I'm gonna have some hanging on display, but then have them in a basket. So I designed those, ordered those, some more pin backing cards, needed some more pocket heart backing cards, some more thank you flyers because I gave them all out at Stationery Fest, and I ordered the roller banner. And it took me so long to order all that printed stuff, and I was like designing each stuff as I went along. I actually got an email off the company saying, you've left some things in your basket, do you want to check out? And I was like, yeah, I am. I'm just still trying to put this order together. I haven't even left the basket's just there. So yeah, I did all that. It needed to be a bit of a sort it out day. I needed to figure out what orders I had, catch up on individual orders. I had a wooden pin stand to do, loads of emails to catch up on, just so much admin and like little jobs. The studio's still a mess, and to be honest, it's gonna have to probably stay a mess until after Dobbies, because I just can't. I haven't got time. That's fine. But after Dobbies, I want to make some time to do a little studio makeover. So I'm just leaving it for that. So anyway, let's go into the cave, aka the packing corner, and I will finish packing my last few orders, and then we'll hope it stops raining and take those to the post box. Let's go. Maggie, do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk? Oh. Getting a spoon. So I have spent a little bit of time getting the listing ready on the website, creating some graphics, getting my email ready to send at 5 o'clock. So the journaling kit is going to be going live. It is about 5 to now. My little girls were looking at me like, what on earth are you doing? I'm just making a very quick, you can't see on my shiny splashback, I did not put that in. I'm making a very quick pasta bolognese because we normally eat at 5-ish with my little girls. So pasta is cooking and hello sausage. Pasta is cooking and the journaling kits are going to be going live. I've got a social post scheduled, I've got an email scheduled, so let's see what happens. So everything went up and out at 5 o'clock and my new journaling kits are now ready for sale on the website. I'm really happy with how they've turned out and I'm hoping that we have quite a few people attend our live stream on August the 24th. So be sure to go and check them out because I think it's a really lovely journaling kit. I'm not sure if I can explain how tired I am after today. It's currently 8:20 in the evening. When I took that footage earlier, it was probably about 12 and it has been a long afternoon of reworking the stall setup. I made the massive grid contraption that I was hanging my tote bags on and I was reasonably happy with it, but it was taking up so much room for not a lot of payoff really. They've confirmed that I can take more of my own furniture and things, but they haven't got back to me about what the floor space I've got actually is, and so I'm scared to build it too big in case I get there and we haven't got that much room. I can always spread out, but making it smaller is a lot more difficult when you're only there with a set amount of things. So painful as it was, I took apart the big grid contraption and I started again and made a bookcase out of the grids. This was after I went all the way around my house looking at all my bits of furniture, trying to figure out what I could take with me, because a lot of what I have is very wide and I wanted something a bit narrower than everything that I did have. And then I thought, why are you looking at ordering something new? We can just make something out of the grids. And so I've done that, and you can see here that I am taking my tote bag rail in place of the big contraption that I built. So let me take you over to the table and I'll show you what I think my setup is gonna be, because I think I'm there finally. So it's obviously a bit difficult to see with stuff behind it, but I will take you closer to have a look. But this is essentially what we're looking at. So We've got the edge of the bookcase here, the edge of this here. So it's just a bit either side of each table, and then I will have my pop-up banner as well as my card spinner. So there is still more stuff to go width-wise, but we'll start at this one end. So on this one end, I'm going to be using the pink rail that I use in my office for the tote bags that are already made up, and I'm just going to have one sample of each hanging. I've put one on the outside facing outwards, and I'm going to put a sign up here that says these are the samples and have a browse through. And I've got them all angled so you can see in at the designs and you can rifle through them and browse. They have got cardboard in there cut to size to really keep them flat so that you can see the whole design. And then moving round to the table, the idea is that this basket here will actually have tote bags with belly bands around them that you can take away in a more compact size. We wanted to trial having them with belly bands on because something that shops have said to us is that they haven't always got a lot of hanging space to be able to display all the hanging ones, which is obviously something I've found today, trying to figure out how I'm going to do that without it just looking really messy and jumbled and like we're at an outdoor market on a Saturday morning or something, and not a nice art market. We're going to trial having these in here with the belly bands around, which haven't come yet, and I still need to design some stickers for. Then on the end here, I just felt it did look better on the end height wise, otherwise I would have put the tote bags there. I've got this running down here like I had at Stationery Fest for my pins and pocket hearts, so that is covered, and there's a bit of room on the front if I needed it. Now I've chosen to do the mock setup on a 5-foot table because I don't know the size of the table they're giving me, because they haven't got back to me about that either, so I can always spread things out more if I've got more space, and I'm just hoping it isn't smaller than this. I am going to take some extra grids and things just in case I do need to rework stuff. So then coming across, I'm going to have mugs on this stand here. These aren't the designs I'm taking, but they're just 6 that I grabbed to see how it would look. And then we're going to have coasters in these baskets, the same as we had at Stationery Fest. I'm going to have 2 on top, they're stackable, and we're going to have extra stock underneath and then ones that people can browse through on the top. This is how the tote bag basket will look up close, and we've figured out a way of folding them, and then we'll put the belly bands around. And then we've utilised this tray that had the mystery seconds pins in to put the anxiety toolkit in, because we like the tray. We wanted to fit it somewhere and it just draws people's eye and contains it all together. So we've got a sign about the toolkit, we've got one box stood up. These are sample cards people can flip through, and then we're going to have some in there that people can actually just take and buy. Then I've essentially replicated the same as we had at Stationery Fest, but the pouch was in there with the reading journal. But I'm going to be putting together some reading journal gift sets, same as we did with the bullet journal gift set, and having a selection of things together boxed. So on the top shelf I have my bullet journal, a sign about the bullet journal and what makes it so special, and then the gift set, and then on this bottom row I'm going to have the reading journal, a sign about it, and the gift set. So that's going to be my gift set area, and then the pouch is just here because it means there is a lower section in the middle that I can stand. And then on the end here I've just got my sticker sheets that you can flip through, although the longer these are in here, the more they're curling backwards, and that might be a bit of a problem. So it'll be interesting to leave them there and see how that pans out. And then another product in front, which I will show you in a sec. And then on this bookcase at the end, nothing is stood up right now, but my plan is that if you can see all the stationery that's on each shelf, my plan is to have a stack of them in there and then one propped up at the front of each pile, because if you push things too far back on these shelves they just get obscured and you can't see what's at the back. So we're going to have the stock behind and then one propped up at the front so you can see what each thing is. So we've got the reflective journal, the wellbeing journal, the to-do pads. Then on the next shelf I'm having my brain dump, thoughts versus facts, my new habit trackers, and this will be the daily focus, but I'm having them reprinted because I wasn't happy with them. And then on the top shelf, if I lift you up, we'll be having my weekly desk pads, my daily Lottie and Bluebell, and my gratitude Lottie and Bluebell pads. Then I'll be taking my big card spinner again, filled with cards, so that holds 32 designs, and then I'll have my pop-up banner. It's absolute chaos in here, it gets worse by the day, but I think that's looking like something now. I'm happy that things aren't crammed in, there's space to breathe, it looks cohesive. Oh, I've ordered 2 new tablecloths. I've ordered a stretchy light pink one, and I've ordered a dark pink gingham to go over the top, a bit like a runner in the centre, to break up all the white, because now I've got the white grids as well, it's just looking a bit clinical. So I thought that would be nice. Obviously the pop-up banner will add colour, the cards will add colour, and when I've got all my pins and things in and my coasters and all my products, it won't look as stark as this, but I think I'm happy with it. I think it's a professional enough setup for Dobbies. I think using some of the wooden stands and like the woven wooden basket and things like that, I think that will look nice in a garden centre setup. And like I had my flower lights round here at Stationery Fest, I had it like wound round the top of the grid. I might get some last minute garland lights, some bits and bobs to just make it feel gardeny, if that makes sense. And then the last thing I need to do is work on where signage and pricing is going and rework that ahead of the event, because most of what I made for Stationery Fest was out of paper and it got ruined pretty quick taking it down. Some of it's okay, but I need to go through and have a look and just make sure that that finishes it off still at a good professional level. But I want to put the pricing up because I just think it makes it so much easier to have prices near each product than have one pricing list somewhere and then people don't see it and they go, how much is this, how much is that? And people are just generally more likely to make the purchase if they don't have to ask as many questions, I find. So that's my last thing to do on the setup. But let me just go and sit back down and we'll have a chat about what's left. And I'm back. I had a massive coaster making session this morning for Dobbies and for one of my curated makers locations, want a top up. And then I found out that another 2 of my stockists wanted a small top up and I ran out of coasters. So I had a big coaster making session this morning, but I've had to order some more coasters. So I need to sort them out. Really, it would be good to get my stockist top ups done because I think I may have had some nudges today. So I need to do that. And then there's still some products I need to make. So tote bags, but the transfers are coming tomorrow. I need to make mugs and I need to make, the reading journal gift sets and obviously do all the pricing and everything. And then I need to do an announcement. I need to do some social media stuff and I need to make my limited edition, limited run product that I mentioned earlier in the vlog. I'm teased. So the blanks are here now so I can show you what they are. And basically I found a bunch of these transfers that say wild and free that I had as part of my wildflower collection. When it first initially released, I had some baseball caps and I had some pencil cases that I did in limited numbers. And some of them have a yellow flower and some have a white there. There's some variation and love the bookish pouch so much. It's one of my favourite products, but obviously that is massive. And I thought, what if I could do a limited run of kind of mini pouches rather than pencil cases to use up the transfers that I already have? Because these are such dinky little transfers and pencil cases tend to be quite long, I thought, what if I could find like a nice size mini pouch? And I found possibly the prettiest pouches known to man. Look at these little pink ones. They're so cute. I love the pink. It's got a lovely gold zip. Really nice. And then, yeah, it's still a nice size inside. Like that is, I think, about 14 centimetres wide. So with the transfer on it, like just fits so beautifully. I think I'm going to make these £6 on a limited run and I've got 20. So I'm going to be taking them to Dobbies with me. And if I bring any back, then I will list them on the website until they're gone. So that's exciting, but it means I need to press 20 mini pouches to take with me. So I'm going to leave this vlog here, and in the next vlog you'll see me making those final preparations, going to the pop-up. I'll take you along with me and then we'll see how it goes. I'll talk to you about my feelings about it, and I'll bring you on the Dobbies journey with me. I'm really excited. So if you live nearby, I'd love it if you came and popped in and said hi. It is Dobbies in Atherstone in Warwickshire, and yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm totally ready for a break afterwards, but I am really looking forward to it. So thank you for joining me for another vlog. Thank you for all your love on my recent Stationery Fest vlog. I really appreciated it, and I'd love it if you could give this one a like if you enjoyed it too, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already, so you can see more videos like this, as well as tips and tricks videos, and it just really helps my channel and helps push my videos out to more people who like to see it too. So wish me luck at Dobbies, and I will see you on the other side. So until then, take care, and I will see you then. Bye everyone.